Hi everyone, here's our early summer vegetable garden. As you can see, everything is growing very nicely. Let me take you on a short tour to show you what's growing in the garden. In these two pots, I have Persian cucumbers. Here you see a fruit, and there's some more fruit behind it. There's quite a bit of fruit on these two plants. Now you'll notice at the base of the plant, at the top of the pot, is this layer of mulch here. That's about 2 to 2.5 inches to help retain moisture. Going up these pots, you'll see the trellis. There's a front and back, shaped like an A. The plant on the right here is being trained up the back of the trellis, and the plant on the left is being trained up the front of the trellis. When these tips get to the very top, I'll go ahead and pinch them out, and that should encourage the lateral shoots to grow along these horizontal supports. And hopefully that will encourage much more fruiting over the course of the season. In these three pots, I have bitter melon, which is an Asian vegetable. It is long and bumpy and bitter in taste. Right now they're fairly small because the weather has been cool here in Southern California, and they will start to grow and get bigger and hit their stride as the weather warms up. You'll notice that I have this plant cage that is triangular in shape. So the plan is to have these plants trained up the plant cage, and in middle to late summer, this should be completely filled in. And the goal is to have the fruit hang from these horizontal supports. In these three pots, I have Lacinato Kale, and as you can see, it's doing really well. We're very happy with it. We're continuing to harvest leaves for salad as well as hot pot. Down below is kabocha squash that I started from seed. And in the back are some beans that I interplanted to make use of the space. Now you'll notice in this pot, like I had in the cucumbers in most of my pots, I have a layer of this shredded cedar mulch. So down below it's nice and moist, but above it's nice and dry. And I really think this mulch makes a big difference in the health of the plants. So you'll notice that this kabocha does not have any signs of powdery mildew, nor did the cucumbers. They're as healthy as I've ever grown. In this pot, I have Korean Perilla leaves. Now these plants actually started off as volunteers. So they just popped up, and we pulled out the Swiss chard that we originally put into these pots and allowed the Perilla leaves to grow. And as you can see, they're very healthy. Perilla leaves are harvested and used for Korean barbecue to wrap meats. And we like to use Perilla leaves also to wrap sashimi. In this pot, I have Japanese turnips. We call them kabu. And as you can see, they are ready to harvest. So I will harvest these and probably end up pickling them. You'll notice that there are some small holes in these. And I think the next time I grow these, I'll probably put some insect netting to prevent these leaves from being attacked. But the roots look really great. In this pot back here, I have beets that I started from seed. Now I haven't checked them for a while, and I just noticed a minute ago that I have a really nice one here, so that's really encouraging. In these two pots, I have bush beans. What I did this year for the first time is I took some old tomato cages and I cut them down, and that was just to help keep these bush beans from sprawling all over the place. And so it's encouraging them to grow up, which is really nice. And there's quite a bit of beans on these plants, and there are a ton of flowers, and now we're starting to see some fruit develop. So these will be ready here in the next couple of days. In this pot I have watermelon radish. This is a Thai pepper. In this grow bag, I have Satsuma, which is a sweet potato. As you can see, it's growing nicely. These sweet potatoes were grown from slips. If you'd like to know how to make and grow your own slips, click on the link in the description where I made a video on how to grow sweet potato slips. And here I have 2 more grow bags of sweet potatoes. This grow bag has red potatoes. These plants were started from potatoes that I picked up at Trader Joe's. And here I have carrots. Now, vegetables like carrots and other root vegetables, as well as these potatoes, do really well in containers because you can fill the containers with nice loose soil, which allows them to grow very easily. In these 6 pots, I have Shishito Peppers. We love Shishito Peppers during the summertime. So as you can see, there are flowers developing, so fruit should be coming here in the next couple of weeks. In these 5 pots, I have tomatoes. The first pot has a tomato called Brad's Atomic Grape Tomato. The next one is a Sungold tomato, and the last 3 are Momotaro tomatoes. These tomatoes are indeterminate, so they have to be trellised. This year, I'm trying a new system made from a company called Orgrimmar that includes these stakes and connectors to create trellises like this, as well as the plant cage that you saw earlier for the bitter melon, as well as the cucumber plants. So as these plants have been growing, I've been cutting out the suckers. So here you see a sucker that's been cut out. Here's another one that's been cut out. So as the plant has been growing, the energy has been directed up the main stem, and I connect the main stem, the main leader, to the twine using these tomato clips. By cutting out the suckers, you'll notice that these plants are not bushy. So the wind and the air can flow through these plants very easily. Notice at the bottom, like with many of the other plants in these containers, I have mulched the tomatoes. So between the mulch and the single stem trellising, these plants have no signs of disease. No mildew, no signs of any kind of disease. They're very, very healthy looking. You'll also see a lot of flower clusters. Fruit is setting. These are the healthiest looking plants that I've ever grown. So I'm really happy with this system. The other thing about growing tomatoes in pots and trellising them is that you have to find a system that's portable. That is something that can be set up very easily, and at the end of the season, it can be taken down and those parts can be then stored until the next season. If you'd like to learn how I made this, click on the link in the description where I show you how I made this trellis about 4 weeks ago. On this table, we have herbs such as thyme and mint, parsley. We also have rosemary that we often use in our cooking, as well as cilantro. And it's really nice to come back here into the kitchen garden to grab what we need for our cooking, as well as for cocktails. So there you have it. That's an update on our early summer garden. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me or leave a comment. And please check out the links in the description. Okay, thank you so much for watching.